This is the first time ever in my entire 67 years here on Earth that I've sat down and calculated how much I've earned from knowing many languages. The number is mind-blowing, even for me.
Oh, so that's $9 million in total? Or $15,544,000 in today's dollars, adjusted for inflation. Where is it? I spent almost all of it traveling and learning languages, but it was fun, worth it.
In this video, I'm going to peel back the curtain and show you exactly when, where, and how I did it. So stick around to the end, because my story might give you some ideas about how you may also benefit monetarily from your language learning and perhaps inspire you to study even harder. My first language-related earnings were at age 19 in 1976. I was traveling around Brazil just before my 20th birthday. I had just spent a year in Colombia studying Portuguese, French, and German while attending university there. And I got a letter from my father asking me to go interview two witnesses to an automobile accident in Miami, Florida. A mother and her daughter living in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. I was paid $200, which is equivalent to purchasing power of $1,080 today. Not only was it a lot of fun, the daughter was also very beautiful, and they invited me to dinner. Next, in 1980, thanks to my ability in German, I was able to work in Germany during the summer break from university in Poland. When I was in Dubrovnik in the former Yugoslavia the year before, I had met Herr Stephenson, who invited me to work in his office furniture factory located in a small village called Wendelstein near Nuremberg in Germany. For 2 months, I worked at that factory from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., I worked at a warehouse for Sparwege, a food store chain in Germany. In total, I earned about $4,600, which is equivalent to $19,368 in today's dollars. Okay, and this is the juicy part. How I was able to make money dealing in the black market in the Eastern Bloc from 1979 to 1981 using Polish and German. At that time, I lived in Poznan, Poland, while studying Slavic languages and literature at Adam Mickiewicz University. Okay, I used to do two types of black market trading. First, I often drove through East Germany to West Berlin, where I would buy 5 East German marks at the black market rate for 1 West German mark. Then I hid the money in various places in my car and drove through the checkpoint at the Berlin Wall into East Germany again. The East Germans were very thorough in checking cars coming through, so I had to be very inventive in where I hid that money. Once I was back in East Germany, I could exit the main highway to do some shopping because I had Polish license plates on my car, so they didn't suspect that I was a Westerner. The big ticket items I bought were cameras and lenses made by Carl Zeiss Jena in East Germany. Finding a buyer in Poland was not easy, but when I did, I made 200 to 300% profit. My estimated earnings over 2 years was $12,000, which is equal to about $50,748 today. The other black market activity involved going to Vienna to buy coffee and yarn at a warehouse run by Turks who specialized in assisting this trade. These items were very hard to find at stores in Poland during those years under the socialist system. There were many shortages of food and goods at that time. So Poland allowed 10 kilograms of these items to be received duty-free by mail. I did this business with Anje, whom I met in Nuremberg while working in Germany. Anje oversaw getting the addresses in Poland for the packages to be sent to, and then he went around and picked up the products. And when he did, he gave each person 1 kilo of each product. Then together, we went around door to door selling them. And Poles were more than happy to deal with people selling that way during those years. My estimated earnings over those 2 years was $7,500, equivalent to about $31,717 today. Next, in Japan, from July 1981 till December 1985, I think I was one of the few native English speakers in Fukuoka who knew Japanese well. And it brought me so many earning opportunities. I remember when I first stepped foot in Japan in July 1981, I only had $100 to my name. I thought, oh my God, Tim, how are you going to survive? Fortunately, I had many pen pals who helped me get settled in Fukuoka and find a job at an English language school. All thanks to my Japanese teacher in Poland, Mr. Hashimoto, who suggested that we put a free ad in the Mainichi Daily newspaper for pen pals. And I got dozens of responses from all over Japan. So the lesson you should learn here is that you should try to make friends with local people to a place where you're going to move to. Now that's a lot easier nowadays with the internet. Anyway, my income that year from teaching English was about $14,500 or $49,010 in today's money. But what happened after that was a real game changer. In early 1982, I was asked to teach a weekly evening private class for a doctor and a nurse. Dr. Matsumata and Hiroko were very kind to me. They right away suggested that I teach them outside the school privately and earn 4 times as much, about $50 an hour. He then introduced me to many other doctors at Kyushu University Hospital where he worked and did research. I also started editing medical papers written in English. By summer, I realized I could quit my job at the language school and support myself to part-time work and study Chinese literature in graduate school. Oh, and another job I had was correcting the English in insurance claims for the shipping industry at a company called Nihon Kaiji Kentei Kyokai. So my total income from 1982 to the end of 1985 was about $165,000, which is equivalent to $520,363 in today's money. Crazy number, but it'll get even crazier, I promise. For 9 months between 1987 and 1988, as part of a master's degree in international business, I worked as an intern in Westvaco's Tokyo office as the market development manager for paperboard packaging products. The salary was capped at $24,000, but that went straight into my bank account because the company paid for all my expenses, from the rent in an upscale apartment that costs $4,590 a month to all my grocery bills, transportation, etc., which was worth about $2,000 a month. So the total compensation was $83,310, or $233,268 in today's money. Imagine your company paying you back for whatever you spend. Nothing could be better, right? But that was just the start of my corporate life. With my master's degree in international business and fluency in Japanese and English and a dozen other languages, I was offered a fantastic job at GE. I worked from July 1988 till April 1991 as corporate market manager promoting GE's products and services to Japanese automotive manufacturers and parts suppliers in North America. I had the opportunity to meet the top executives at GE, including Jack Welch, as well as the top executives at the customers, such as Shoichiro in AG Toyota. I had a corporate car, all gas paid even for private use, flew around in a corporate jet, and entertained customers at fancy restaurants and golf courses. Besides my salary, I received GE stock options. The total value of my compensation during those years was $335,000 or $786,950 in today's money. But after 3 years of battling in the corporate world, I decided it was not for me. Too much stress and not enough free time, only 2 weeks vacation a year. With good working experience in multinational corporations, plus my ability in multiple languages, I started my academic life teaching international management at Kyushu Sangyo University in Fukuoka, Japan. It was so different. For the first 20 years, I taught 2 days a week for 24 weeks a year. So that meant I had at least 280 days free to decide what I wanted to do. And I still got paid every month plus 3 bonuses a year. From 2011, I had to start teaching 30 weeks a year, but I still had at least 250 days free. And for those who are thinking, why would the university pay me for doing nothing so many days? Well, that time is supposed to be dedicated to doing research. I wrote dozens of papers and 4 books. But for me, it wasn't work. It was actually a lot of fun because I got more time to study languages and learn about cross-cultural management and communication. I just retired this year in March before my 67th birthday, which is required by the university. So for the last 32 years, I've had a lot of time to travel and learn languages. The total salary for 32 years was $3,840,000. And adjusted for inflation, that is $6,028,800. But a hardworking man never settles down. From 1999 till 2011, I lectured as an adjunct professor at Chulalongkorn University, the most prestigious university in Thailand, teaching courses such as International Human Resource Management, Asian Business and Negotiation Strategies in both undergrad and graduate programs, which helped me earn about $318,000 or $489,720 adjusted for inflation for those 12 years. From 2002 to 2005, I was also invited to teach International Human Resource Management at Temple University's EMBA program, Tokyo campus, which added $68,400 or $228,000 to my history of earning money with knowledge of languages. I had to come inside to finish the video due to a change in weather. From 2003 till 2005, using English and Chinese, I taught a strategic negotiation course for Tulane University's EMBA programs in Shanghai and Taipei. I flew to both cities for 2 weekends a year, and on Saturday and Sunday taught for 8 hours, so it was a total of 32 hours for the whole course. The total payment for 3 years was $60,000 or $97,800 in today's money. Besides that, from 1996 till 2018, I was often asked to do corporate education seminars in various languages, including English, Japanese, Chinese, Thai, Indonesian, and even German, in Japan, China, and Thailand. The total amount I earned over those 23 years was $47,200 or $72,688 in today's dollars. Hang on, it didn't stop there. The story gets more interesting. The largest amount of money I ever earned in relation to knowing languages was selling audio magazines in Japan from 1991 till 2002. Okay, let me explain. When I was working for GE in the United States, I wanted to practice German, and I found a product called Schauensland. It was an audio magazine, meaning it had audio on a CD and a booklet with all the transcriptions. I really liked the product, so when I decided to quit GE and go teach at Kyushu Sangyo University in Japan in 1991, I negotiated a deal to sell it in Japan, that German one plus 3 other audio magazines, French, Spanish, and Italian. They were sold on a monthly edition for a half year and a full year. And I was able to sell it for about double the price being sold in the US. So they gave me about 55% margin. The business came to an end in 2002. Why? Because of the growth of the internet. It became much easier to find authentic materials for free. But during those 12 years, I made a net profit ranging from $155,000 to $520,000 a year. So the total income was $3,940,000 or $7,761,800 in today's dollars. And of course, as a language learner, I didn't pass up the opportunity to do translations. A Japanese company which sold products online wanted to translate the description of all the products into English, and it sold a great variety of products. Even though my rate was higher than most people, they still asked me to do it because I was able to do much better than the other translators. The total I earned for the project was $57,733, or $73,898 in today's dollars. So here's an Excel sheet where I put everything together, and you can pause for a second to see the final result. Of course, I wouldn't say just by learning languages I was able to earn that much. It was a combination of knowledge that I had, studying at various universities, the degrees, etc., especially for becoming a professor. But if I didn't know those languages, I would have never had all those opportunities that I mentioned. Remember, all the hard work that you put in now can result in stimulating international relationships, mesmerizing experiences, and even more opportunities to earn money. So the saying, the more you learn, the more you earn, is real. So if you ever wonder how I learned so many languages and maintained them, here's a video I made about my language learning journey, and it has some very good practical tips which you could apply right away. So I'll see you there. Thank you for listening.